They used to call me smart, call me bright, call me gifted, and a part of me took pride in reading faster than other kids did, cause when things were standardized and I was timed and I was tested, then I could prove that I was worthy of love and attention. Now I'm no longer smart, no longer bright, no longer gifted, and I can't read anything if it takes me longer than 15 minutes, yet I still scrape and search and crave to earn that validation that I can still be worthy and deserving of love and attention.
The following quote by Dr. Price from The Laziness Lie summarizes the theme. We are all taught to take immense pride in our achievements, but we're all discouraged from resting our laurels when we do accomplish something great. No level of success grants a person the social permission to stop and catch a breath. We're forever left wondering, what's next? What else? The Laziness Lie teaches that the harder you work, the better a person you are, but it never actually defines what an acceptable level of hard work or success might look like. By forever moving the goalpost and never actually allowing a person to be vulnerable and to have needs, it's setting us up for failure right from the start.
So it's kind of interesting because we perceive giftedness as an advantage. But as one of my teachers once told me, and we'll kind of get to this towards the end, they once explained to me that this is in not in medical school, but when I was training to become a psychiatrist, I had a supervisor who once told me that gifted children are special needs children. And what that literally means is that like the needs of a child who's gifted are actually different from the average child. And the parents who recognize that and recognize that this child is going to need like a slightly different structure, a different curriculum, or a different way of being raised are the ones that end up sort of doing a really good job. And oddly enough, in her clinical experience, she found that much like any other special needs children, kids that were not treated appropriately despite their gifts were the ones that kind of struggled. So this statement, when I first heard it, I thought was like absolutely ridiculous, kind of blew my mind a little bit, but I respected the supervisor a lot and I started thinking about it. So what I'd like to share with y'all today is sort of the pathway that a gifted child takes, how a society treats them, how parents treat them, the kind of struggles they face or the influences that they have. Let's not even call it a struggle because it may not be a struggle. And then sort of how they end up. So I'd like to kind of share that with y'all today, okay?
So in the video suggested in the previous slide, Dr. K goes over the process gifted kids tend to find themselves in. If you can go to school and do all the work without needing to study, you won't study because there's no point. Eventually, you will hit a learning wall that you cannot climb with brain power alone, and it will require studying. However, you will have spent such a long time with no experience or skill in studying. If you are told you have tons of potential, then you internalize high expectations of yourself. If you keep hearing, if you just apply yourself, you'd meet your potential, without any acknowledgement that in all this time, no one made you learn the study skills, then you internalize the blame as you either being dumb or lazy, and thus feel shame. And if you feel shame, then you lose motivation to move forward because shame kills motivation.
The first step on the stairs of my childhood on Matter Creek. Got in the habit of skipping it, it's why I rush into things. My friends would tell you that I tend to swim upstream, 'cause the current is just that, it's all temporary. I was a gifted kid who couldn't stay in the present, still learning that lesson right now. But I haven't learned to slow down, take a moment to recognize how far I've come. I haven't learned to be proud of the things that I've already done. I've got a list of tasks and dreams and journeys that won't mean much to me if I can't learn to hold the moment and control my living speed.
It's a one-way street to burn out. I haven't learned to slow down.
So in the same video, Dr. K, towards the end, summarizes the things that you can do to resolve some of these struggles. The first is to stop comparing yourself to others. To be called gifted is a label only obtained by comparing yourself to other kids who are not gifted. The second step is to accept that giftedness does not mean the path is easy, the road is going to be long. Scenic routes are okay. Shame comes from the gap between the expectations you place upon yourself and your actual performance. And shame kills motivation. The solution is to let go of your expectations and accept yourself where you're at. Motivation will improve when you eliminate the shame. Dr. Devin Price, in their book, The Laziness Lie, states that allowing yourself periods of rest and activity is important. By listening to laziness, we can better understand our needs and construct lives that are truly worth living. Laziness can help us be creative and problem solve. Moments of insight and creativity don't just come by trying to force them, they require a period of mental inactivity. Laziness reminds us of what matters in life, and when we stop seeing laziness as the enemy, we can begin to feel good about the act of letting go. When you stop running away from your feelings and needs, you are able to talk about them with significantly less shame. Thanks to everyone who's listening, and that wraps up this section for now.